So 2024 WWE Royal Rumble is now in the books. Overall, it was a great show. So wanted to give my thoughts and overall review on how I think the show went. But overall, just gonna say it from the beginning. It is a thumbs up. It was a great show, and we'll get into some of the matches and why I really enjoyed this Royal Rumble. But again, if you're watching and hearing this video, I really appreciate it. As I mentioned in my predictions Royal Rumble video, we cover everything here on this channel. So, if you like several things, you're into a lot of things, we cover it. So definitely subscribe if you want more content. Now, this Royal Rumble started off with the women's Royal Rumble, which in my opinion was the best match of the night. Just being real here with y'all, it was awesome. So we had Bailey, who ended up winning the whole thing, which if you saw my predictions video, that's exactly what I had predicted was going to win. And I think it was the right choice. I think it was very well earned. I think what a lot of people forget is that we haven't had that many women's Royal Rumbles like we have with the men's, or just a general one. So there's a lot of women that I think deserve and have earned their Royal Rumble win slot, and I think Bailey definitely deserved it. And I think it's going to be a great main event, no matter what route they go, whether it be the Io self-implosion story where she challenges Io, or if it goes against Rhea Ripley. I think it's going to be great. Which, given that the Damage Control won the title championships on SmackDown, it makes me to believe maybe they're kind of going for that angle where Damage Control gets all the belts, but we'll see. But yeah, I mean, it was a very good match. It started off with the return of Naomi and Natalia as number 1 and 2. Natalia was first, and it was good. One thing that I really enjoyed about this women's Rumble is just it had you on your seat the whole time, and their athleticism was just on point. Bailey actually came out number 3, and again, like I said in my prediction video, she ended up being the Iron Woman, and it was a great one. It was a great Rumble. One of my favorite women's wrestlers of all time, Bianca, came out, and once she got in there, it just continued to become more and more elevated. I still had my doubts about Becky winning, but I was like, you know what? Anything can happen at this point. But no, Becky did not win. Nia Jax as well did not win. It ended up being Bailey, which I think was the right call. But it was super entertaining to the bitter end when Bailey got the final elimination. We did have a return, which was Liv Morgan, and when I saw the final 3, where it was Liv Morgan and then Bailey, I was like, oh, and Jade, who did her debut as well, which was awesome. They made her very, very strong, which was good. But when it was them 3 at the end, I right away knew. I was like, okay, Bailey's winning. And sure enough, Bailey ended up taking it, which again, was totally happy with that. Sometimes, guys, predictable is not bad because, if it ain't broken, why fix it? And it was overall just a great show. And you never know. I mean, like I said, there was times where you really didn't know who was going to take it, but it was until the very end where I saw the final 3. I was like, okay. Now, when we get to the next match, it was very interesting because they went with the WWE Championship, which was a Fatal 4-Way. And, the minute I saw this, I was like, okay, yeah, the chances of Roman winning just, if they were already at 99%, they just went up even higher to like 99.9, But regardless, I was still looking forward to this match because I think Fatal 4-Ways is something we don't really see a lot. And, I'm from the Attitude Era. So, I would see those all the time where you would have like Rikishi, The Rock, Austin, Triple H, or, Undertaker, Kane, The Rock, Austin. Like you had so many Fatal 4-Ways, I feel, in that, or at least that's just the way it feels, to me. Let me know in the comment section if you feel the same. But so when it got to that 4-Way, I thought it was so good. And, for those of you that don't know, LA Knight's like basically my favorite wrestler right now within the whole thing. I really love it. I'm part of that LA train. So they made him really strong, yo. There was in the beginning, he knocked out everybody. They sort of did make Randy look strong too. I think it was a little bit after that. He got a little momentum going, but nowhere near of how strong LA Knight was made to look. I think that's great. And it just goes to show that he is still over. The crowd just keeps popping for him. AJ Styles, if I'm being honest, did seem a little bit random in this match. I know he's a main eventer. Nothing against AJ Styles. I love his athleticism. I think he's a great technical wrestler. But I'm just saying, when I was looking at the 4, I was just like, man, I wonder if this match would have just been better as a triple threat. But either way, it was still great. AJ Styles got his time to shine as well. He got a chair. But ultimately, what ended up happening was when AJ was kind of taking control of the match, Roman snuck in a spear. And like I predicted, I had predicted from the beginning. I was even telling my friends, I was like, 100% AJ's going to get the pin here. Or he's the one that's going to get pinned by Roman. And that's exactly what happened. But overall, it was a great match. It lasted longer than I thought it was going to last. I got to see, a lot of cool moves. Like I said, I think LA Knight was made very strong. Randy didn't disappoint either with his RKOs. Roman Reigns, as expected, did some good work as well. And then, like I said, AJ Styles also had his time in the sun. So overall, it was a great match. Roman won as expected, but it was a super good match. I definitely recommend it. It gets a thumbs up for me as well. Now, the next match, I love Logan Paul and KO, but I don't know. The placement of this was kind of weird for me. I feel like the momentum was kind of just on a roller coaster because you had the Women's Rumble, which again, in my humble opinion, was the best match of the whole night. And then you had the awesome Fatal 4-Way, and like it went to this, which again, both good workers, and it was a good match. I'm still giving it a thumbs up, but it was probably the least liked match, at least in my for me and from my humble opinion. Right? Let me know in the comment sections what you think. But it was still good. It ended exactly how. Actually, it did not end how I thought it was going to end. It what ended up happening was, they fought for a while and they avoided Logan getting the brass knuckles from his manager that comes out all the time. And instead, you had Theory and Waller come out to give the knuckles to Theory. But what ended up happening was KO ended up getting them and using them and basically solidified his win. But the minute I saw that, and I even told my girlfriend, I looked at her, I was like, yeah, they're going to disqualify Kevin. They're going to see the brass, and that's how he's going to retain. And that's exactly what happened, right? Again, nothing wrong with predictability, and it wasn't even predictable because it was predictable at that moment, but there was no way I could have known the match was going to go that route. So it was at least different. So I applaud the booking, having that route where it wasn't the same thing as Crown Jewel. So that was good. Again, it was a good match. Still give it a thumbs up. It's just, the placement was kind of weird because it was after the Roman event. But, in hindsight, I'm assuming they had that match first just so that Roman could go get ready and maybe go to the top of the suite, but you know how he was there. They were showing Seth and him, but who knows? I also got excited because I was thinking like, okay, since that Fatal 4-Way is so early, you might have some of the ones that lose, like AJ, Randy, or even LA Knight make an appearance in the Rumble, but no, that's not what happened. So it is what it is. It was still good. Thumbs up. Now, the main event was the Men's Royal Rumble, and I do like that it went back to that because I feel like the Royal Rumble should still be the main event, regardless if, the women's is better or the men's or whatever. I still think a Royal Rumble should be a main event, like, the women's or the men's, since it is the Royal Rumble, I was going to say pay-per-view, but, premium live event. Now, the Men's Royal Rumble, being honest, I wasn't that into it in the beginning, but it definitely picked up. So at the beginning, I was kind of like just watching. I was like, okay. I think the issue I had with it, looking back, is that a lot of the heavy hitters didn't come out till the end. Like it started off with the Usos, which I think was great. It started off with fire. It was Jimmy and Jay. But then like after that, you had to wait to really get like a main eventer out. You had the return of Andrade, by the way, which we all kind of predicted since his contract with AEW was up. So, and I mean Charlotte, who's his wife is in the WWE, so it just made sense. But yeah, he got a good little pop. But yeah, it was a good, like I said, it was a good straightforward Rumble at the beginning. They were kind of just there. I think at least to me, right? And let me know in the comment section if you saw it and what you think. But for me, when it really started to pick up was when R-Truth came out. And that whole little gimmick of him thinking it's a tag team match. By the way, R-Truth had come out earlier in the Women's Rumble, and he was like, "Wait, are you trying to tell me all those are women?" And he just kind of like mixed up the Rumbles, or at least that was the angle, right? And it was just funny. Man, I love R-Truth. He's so entertaining. And so when he came out for the men's, he kind of like, I guess, thought it was a tag team match. So he was like in the corner waiting to get tagged by Dominic Mysterio. And to me, that's when it picked up because you kind of just started seeing a little bit more of the athleticism. You had some mid card to upper tier players involved, and it just started getting a lot better. And that's exactly what happened, because at the end you had like literally all the uppers kind of come in, because you had Shinsuke come in like early, I guess that counts. But I mean, I'll be honest with you, like I have nothing against Shinsuke. I think he's a phenomenal worker. He's just not one of my favorites. I personally don't like or haven't liked any of his little vignettes and all his little feuds. My issue is really just that he has all these feuds and he just basically loses them. So it's just like, I don't know. That's a video for another day. But he was in there, but he was only in the corner for most of the match, anyways, until he got eliminated. But at the end, early, you had Cody come in, which that's also when it started spicing it up. I don't remember exactly what number he was, but he was pretty early for sure. It wasn't like 5 or anything like that, but it was still, a little bit early. And that's when I realized, he was going to be, because I said in my prediction video he was going to be the Iron Man, and he sure was. Because as we all know by now, if you don't know, spoiler, Cody wins this match, or wins the 2024 Royal Rumble. And honestly, pretty happy with that. I think it's awesome. In hindsight, I think it was the right call. Again, I don't know much about CM Punk's contract and stuff like that. I would have been happy with either of them winning, but super happy for Cody, because Cody's such a great face and he's such a good worker. He really does deserve it. The guy has busted his ass so much, and he definitely deserves it. I think, to me, the only reason I really didn't want Cody to win, I still am not sold that Roman is going to lose the belt. And it was clear at the end when Cody won, because he pointed at Roman in the suite, that he's obviously going to challenge Roman again. And I was telling a buddy of mine, actually, I was like, oh, man, it's because I honestly did think CM Punk was going to win this, but what gave it away at the end, the announcers kept saying over and over, who's going to beat Stone Cold's record of 2 in a row? It's been 26 years since someone's done that. To me, that is what sealed it. And I texted my buddy. I was like, you know what? Yeah, no, Cody's winning this. They keep reminding us that it's been 26 years since we had a Rumble winner win back to back. And that's exactly what happened. At the end, it was Gunther, Punk, and Cody. And they did a good job, because, I mean, it was back and forth. And even though I kind of knew Cody was going to win at that point, like, it was still kind of like back and forth. Like, you never know. They might throw a curveball at us. But no, Cody did indeed win. Punk was going to go for a GTS, and Cody ended up just doing a cool little reverse and throwing him out of the ring. It was awesome. But it was a good Rumble. Again, thumbs up too. I think the second half of the Rumble is what really sold me. It escalated quick, because, again, you had like Drew, Priest, Gunther, Punk. They all literally came out in the second half. So, like, the second half of the Rumble was stacked. The only thing to me was kind of random was Ricochet. I think he came out like number 29 or 28. I don't remember. And we did have the return of Sami Zayn, which I had also predicted he was going to make his return today. But yeah, it was just random. Ricochet at the end, he kind of didn't go there. But, it is what it is. And Cody takes it. And overall, I mean, like I said, I think it was a great Rumble. I definitely think you should check it out. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. I mean, you probably already know who won, because, the internet and stuff like that. But it was very entertaining to watch. Like I said, a lot of these matches, I knew who was going to win. And for those of you that watched my predictions video, and I do appreciate those that watched it, because I did get a good amount of views on it. I got most of them right. The only one I was wrong was the men's Rumble. It was CM Punk, which I had even said, it could be Cody or Punk. I'm going to go with Punk, but it ended up being Cody. I'm happy with it. I just really, really hope he wins at Mania this time, because to me, like I said, I think that's what was stopping me from wanting to go for Cody. And I was even telling my buddy, I was like, man, it's because I love Cody. He's a great face, but I don't want Cody to win to go to fight Roman just to lose again. Like, dude, twice in a row. But now, I don't know. I'm kind of thinking, would they really do that to Cody? 2 Manias in a row, to lose? I don't think so. So I don't know. Who knows? But I don't know. The WWE is doing such a good job, because another thing they keep hammering is how Roman Reigns is about to beat Hulk Hogan's record and San Martino. And so it's very, very, very unpredictable at this point. Elimination Chamber's next. We know Roman won't be there. Seth will also more than likely not be there. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of matches we have. Should still be fun, but this was definitely 2 thumbs up for me. I really enjoyed it. Royal Rumble's always my favorite. And I think it actually ended longer than last year's because I went to last year's. It was in Texas, and I don't remember it ending this late. But also keep in mind it had started in reverse. It started with the men's rumble, and then it ended with the the main event with Roman and KO. So maybe that's why. But no, it was a really good rumble. Even though it was long, it didn't drag on at all. So those are my thoughts. Overall, 2 thumbs up. Again, if you're new here, consider subscribing and liking. I like to talk about a lot of stuff, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thank you for watching.